Mateola, and this is Eyesight, Insight, and Foresight. What do you see? What can you see? How well can you see? It's really important that we're able to see correctly. It's not just seeing as far as your physical eyesight is concerned, but seeing beyond the realm of the physical. Today I want to share with you a little story that has blessed me tremendously over the years as a believer. It's the story of a prophet by the name Elisha. This prophet had the gift of the prophet, a seer, a one who had the ability to see beyond the realm of the natural. And the story goes like this. One day the king of Syria discovered that every time they tried to go to battle against Israel, they were always ambushed and they were defeated. He comes back to his men one day and he said to them, one of you guys must be a traitor. Now I'm just paraphrasing now. This story is found in 2 Kings chapter 6. And he said, one of you must be a traitor. It seemed like somebody is giving Israel information about our strategy. Well, his servants responded to him. They said, no, King, none of us are traitors. But there is a man in Israel. There is a prophet by the name Elisha. He is so good that even what you are doing in your bedroom cannot be hidden from him. And so you know what the king decided to do? He said to his army, go get this man. Go capture him, pick him up, and bring him back to us. They discovered that Elisha was in a place called Dothan, and so the army was sent there. Let me read a little bit of this story to you from the verses of the Bible. 2 Kings chapter 6, and I read from verse 14. Please listen. Therefore he sent horses and chariots and a great army there. And they came by night and surrounded the city. And when the servant of the man of God arose early and went out, there was an army surrounding the city with horses and chariots. And his servant said to him, alas, my master, what shall we do? Now, that is just a natural response. Here is the servant of this prophet, now discovering that there are people out to capture them. He looks around him and he can see the horses and he can see the chariots. So he cries out to his boss, the prophet. Now listen to the response of Elisha. Verse 16. So he answered, do not fear, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see. Then the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full with horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. So 1 minute, all Gehazi could see was the army of Syria, the horses and the chariots of Syria. And he was sure they were in trouble. Like there's somebody listening to me right now and all you can see is the negative circumstances around you. And as long as that's all you can see, you will fret, you will get worried, you will get scared. And that's why I said to you at the beginning, what do you see? You see, God does not want us to be limited in our seeing. He's designed for his children to not just see in the realm of the natural, but also to be able to see in the realm of the spirit. Elisha, as a prophet of God, had already been gifted with the spiritual eyesight so he could see differently. Now on this occasion, Elisha had to pray for his servant Gehazi. And when he prayed for Gehazi, he literally petitioned God, God, why don't you allow him to see the way I can see? And in an instant, Gehazi's eyes is open. And now Gehazi can see beyond the realm of the natural. He actually gets to see the horses and chariots of fire this time, which talks about the heavenly host. You know, the Bible tells us that even the angels, many times they appear as flames of fire in Hebrews chapter 1. Now, all of a sudden, perspective changes. 1 minute ago, Gehazi was scared and worried that their life was in danger. A minute later, he sees a completely different perspective, enough for him to chill out. Do you know that just like you have 5 physical senses, God also has designed that you, the child of God, born again believer, should be able to operate with 5 spiritual senses as well. See, the 5 physical senses: eyes to see, nose to smell, with your tongue you can taste, ears to hear, and hands to touch. In the realm of the spirit, you also have 5 spiritual senses. On this occasion, Elisha was using his eyesight, supernatural eyesight, and that brought peace. I pray for one of you, 2 of you, 3 of you, all of you that are watching me, that have not yet developed your ability to see beyond the realm of the natural, that the Lord will open your eyes to. And now, from this day forward, you will not just see just with limited eyesight, but you can also see from God's perspective. Now, the story gets a little bit more interesting. When you get to the 17th verse, the Bible tells us that, and Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see." Then the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, where they talked about that, and he could see the horses. 18th verse. So when the Syrians came down to him, Elisha prayed to the Lord and said, "Strike this people, I pray, with blindness." And he struck them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. And the story goes on to say that all of a sudden, this army that had come from the Syrian king, though their physical eyes was working, they were not blind, but they lost spiritual eyesight in terms of losing the ability to comprehend what they were seeing. It's interesting. As a matter of fact, the story goes on to tell us that Elisha and Gehazi, they led this army all the way into Israel's stronghold. They could see physically, but they could not comprehend what was going on around them. How many people are out there that are experiencing this challenge? Ability to see physically, but lack of comprehension. It was so bad that it was only when Elisha prayed again, Lord, open their eyes, that the Syrian army realized that they were now in Israel's stronghold. Once again, I want to say to you, what do you see? Are you seeing just with the natural eyes, or are you seeing beyond the realm of the natural because God has opened your eyes? I pray one more time, Lord, open the eyes of the one that is listening to me, that he or she, that you may be able to see even better. Well, that's my little nugget for you today. Once again, this is Daniel Mateola, and the Lord bless you.